Alright, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Refished. My lord, what a dream come true. Come on into the restaurant, friend, because this time, Ubisoft cooked. If you ask any Assassin's Creed fan what their favorite game is, more times than not, they're gonna say Black Flag. Black Flag Resynced is literally what the game would look like if they made it today. And I mean that in the best possible way. Like, these guys clearly had so much goddamn respect for the original game, and you could just feel it radiating from the screen. They even invited a bunch of hardcore Assassin's Creed creators to try out some early builds, and it fucking shows. These guys somehow upgraded everything that worked well, reworked what didn't, and threw out everything that wasn't fun. Just to get it out of the way, I requested an early review copy, and all Ubisoft said was not to mention major spoilers. Other than that, I can say whatever I want. But you gotta know where I'm coming from. In 2013, I left the after party of my Year 11 prom to go to a midnight launch of the original Black Flag. My ass genuinely said, "Sorry ladies, I must go now. I hear the call of the ocean." And the funniest part is that 13 years later, I turned down a wedding invite to make this video. The circle of life. So yip kahoo, we're back in the shoes of Edward Kenway, reunited, and it feels so good. I've mentioned before that in recent entries like Mirage and Shadows, the stories, characters, and cutscenes just weren't doing it for me. I was starting to think that I just had rose-tinted nostalgia goggles on, but nah, going back to Black Flag is such a huge step up. I think a big part of that is that Edward is just this larger-than-life, charismatic guy, and that's so much more fun than the self-serious protagonist we usually get. A big part of what makes Edward so compelling is the original game's heavy use of mocap cutscenes, which tends to be used more sparingly in Assassin's Creed's RPG games. Ubisoft, I don't care if you literally have to halve the amount of content in your games, I swear to God, mocapping all your cutscenes is worth any price you have to pay. Like, I forgot Assassin's Creed could be genuinely funny.
No me mate, señor. Tengo familia. Se lo suplico.
Anyone speak English? English?
Little bit.
Tell your friends we're stealing your goods, and we won't hurt nobody if everyone stays as still as a sandbar. You got that?
Please to repeat.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And fuck me, is this a good looking game, man. This isn't just a case of slapping on a few extra textures. Ubisoft remade a lot of these locations. And that's not even mentioning the lighting and weather effects. Like, this doesn't just look bonkers for a remake. This looks bonkers for a video game, full stop. You've probably seen those comparison videos that are like, here's what water in GTA looks like compared to Red Dead Redemption. And no shit, I think this game is the new gold standard. I mean, look at this. It's crazy. And it only gets better when you start going underwater. And you might assume that this is just a handcrafted spot that you're allowed to swim in, but think again, fucko. You can do this shit anywhere. As long as the water was deep enough, I couldn't find anywhere in the game where it didn't let me go underwater. And God knows how they pulled this off, because this map is mostly water. When it comes to visual flourishes, they left no stone unturned. Just look at the blood splatter when you kill this guy. Fucking unreal. And fans of the original can finally breathe easy. All the menus have been entirely remade. Like, I love the original game, but it honestly had some of the most cock and bull torture UI I've ever seen. And the hits just keep on coming. The developers even invented a silly made up language just for this game. So since Assassin's Creed has always been built on combat, stealth, and parkour, I think that's a good place to start. So I have my doubts about the combat. The old AC games had a system that looked super good, but barely had any depth, while the newer ones tended to be more complex at the cost of being a bit goofy. These guys somehow managed to thread the needle and get the best of both worlds. The combat's still built on the pillars of dodging and parrying, but learning to play around enemy archetypes is still really important. You can still execute chain kills, for example, but that's limited by your equipment, the enemy type, and how you prioritize targets. You could also kick, trip, and shoot enemies to open them up for quick takedowns. Edward doesn't play fair, and neither do his enemies. I'd 100% recommend cranking the combat to hard, because although it's not crazy difficult, it's always very engaging. And some enemies will genuinely surprise you, like they'll straight up body you if you're not paying attention. Every now and then you'll also go up against a random Chad enemy that'll just like dodge and parry you, and they kinda have hands. You also might have seen that hunting animals has been entirely reworked, because a lot of that just used to be quick time events. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really a fan when I first saw the footage, but after actually playing it, I'm completely on board. Fighting animals in this game is kind of an entirely different beast. Unlike a human, you don't know their movesets, so they can really catch you out if you don't bring your A game. The option to just one-shot them from stealth also exists, but that's easier said than done. Just like the original, animal pelts are used to upgrade your equipment, but you can also just buy pelts if you don't want to fuck around with hunting them. A big difference now though, is you don't buy them with money. You buy them with bones for some reason. You just go up to a store owner and they're like, "Yep, only accept bones I do. Very important to me they are. But it doesn't put food on the table, it doesn't. Ruined me marriage, it did. For bones is where the heart is, I always say." Probably the best way to hunt animals is to do so just as the founding fathers intended. And oh my god, man. I absolutely adore the guns in this game. They one-shot most enemies, bullets are cheap and plentiful, and the sound is just fucking mwah. I'm not kidding, you could play a lot of this game by just shooting people, and you better believe I did that. So much of my playthrough was just that Auntie Donna video.
Oh no! He's got the drop on me, but lucky I got a trick up my sleeve. Bang! Biggity bang! A big bang bang biggity biggity bang!
Like no shit, there were times in this game where I was basically playing Rainbow Six Siege. Going into a fight gun first is very on brand for a pirate, and I'm so glad they let you do it. Even on stealth missions, I just whip it out because I could. Look at the rabbits, Lenny. They also sped up the reload animation to be around 2 seconds long, which is so much better than the real-time shit they had in the original. Okay, so combat, excellent, a big step up. Unfortunately, stealth is just as good, baby! Yippee! The entire system has its major improvements, with the biggest being a dedicated crouch button. How did we ever live without this thing? I did not expect stealth to feel quite this fluid, because there isn't really a binary system of being seen and unseen. Like if you're spotted and dart into some foliage, enemies that see you do it will take shots at where they think you are, even if it means they can't actually see you. And just because you're fighting on one side of a field, doesn't mean guards on the other side will know what's going on. And praise be to Yubi, assassinations are always a one-shot kill. I believe in Hidden Blade superiority. Unfortunately, unlike the original, Hidden Blade and unarmed combat is absent in Assassin's Creed Reflagged. I mean, kinda. You do participate in bar fights which are all unarmed, and a lot of the executions make heavy use of the Hidden Blade. The devs have said they were surprised at how many people were interested in these fight styles, but stated that they wanted to get the game out before committing to anything. But honestly, who knows? Say what you want about Ubisoft, but they're kinda next level when it comes to post-launch patches. They basically reworked the parkour system in Mirage, and Rainbow Six Siege has 77 operators somehow. It's hard not to give them credit for that. Social stealth also exists in the form of crowd blending, hiring dancers, and sitting on benches, but you could tell they leaned away from that for the most part. Which, you know, fair enough. It's not quite as interesting as just raw dogging it, and it makes a lot less sense in the streets of Paris or Florence. And my god, the tailing and insta-fail stealth missions are no more. We did it, guys. The good ending. Have you ever thought about replaying a game, but then you just remember that one boring as hell portion and realize that you just couldn't stomach doing it again? Well, Black Flag Rehab just removed those sections altogether. Like if there's ever a mission where you have to tail someone, you can just kill them instead. Edward will then be like, "Wow, I found a note in his pocket giving me the exact information I need." Perfect. It does lead to a few funny moments where the characters tell you that stealth is really important, but then you just fucking... There's also a part where one of your buddies is like, "Here, take this blowpipe. You don't have to kill so many people." But as soon as you use it to put someone to sleep, they just walk up and stab them. Synchronization objectives are also no more. Put in the trash where they belong. The closest thing I could find were assassination missions that gave you bonus money for killing people in certain ways. But fuck you, Ubisoft. Still gonna shoot them. The modern day sections have also been taken out, which might piss off a few people, but I'm certainly not one of them. Being forced to stop having a fun pirate adventure so I can walk around an office for 10 minutes isn't exactly what I'm looking for in an Assassin's Creed game. The series has really leaned away from the modern day story, and I'm honestly not surprised. Individual Assassin's Creed stories are usually fairly easy to follow, but as soon as you get into the modern day, it gets fucking wild. Like, canonically, the Templars tampered with Florida's Electoral College to get George Bush Jr. elected, which let them profit from the subsequent war on terror. How the fuck do you explain that to a new player who just wants to have a fun pirate game? I think the only thing I'm sad the game didn't include was the multiplayer section, because it had no right to be as good as it was. In a world where multiplayer shooters are lasting 2 weeks before they get shut down, I think there's a real craving for something this unique. A cat and mouse multiplayer game about mind games and blending in is so fucking inspired, and I think the world is ready for it again. Apparently there's an Assassin's Creed multiplayer game in the works, but the recipe is there. I really hope they follow it. Okay, parkour. I think this might be one of the most contested changes from the original. You see, when Assassin's Creed started going through its RPG phase, it completely reworked its parkour system to be more simple. Instead of having to find handholds, you could basically just point at a cliff and your character would climb it. That was a pretty big departure from the older games, because in terms of parkour, they didn't fuck around. Like, people still make free run videos in Assassin's Creed Unity because even today, it looks nuts. Parkour in Black Flag Resynced is kinda trying to be both. Parkour certainly has a lot less friction in the remaster, letting Edward climb faster and way less restricted. With this said, you do lose a little bit of weight when you can scurry up a building faster than an actual chimp. But that's just prioritizing fun over realism, so I'm not complaining. What I will say is that the devs certainly went through a lot of work to refine the RPG era parkour system to the best of their ability. For the first time in 10 years, we get manual jumps and height gaining back and side ejects on launch. If you have no idea what any of that means, good news. Parkour is going to be just fine. There's an entire genre on YouTube completely dedicated to Assassin's Creed parkour. Like, they basically have PhDs in this shit. If you really want to go into the weeds, I'd recommend watching White Light or Ropatopoulos, because I'm not about to do a 12-minute breakdown of front-facing contextual reverse laches. It's really hard for me to say this, but with the rose-tinted goggles off, I think I like the parkour better than the original. As for the additional content added for Black Flag Remittance, yeah, I liked it quite a lot. A lot of it blends in well enough that I didn't actually know it was new content until I looked back at the review guide they gave me. There's these new guys called naval officers, and they're like recruitable companions that give you buffs to your ship. I was expecting these missions to just be rescuing them from jail or something, but nah, they're like full-on quest chains. And again, having actual cutscenes just brings so much to these characters. I cannot understate that enough. Another addition are like what-if missions, which I thought were gonna rein it in, but they go fucking crazy. There were 15 studios that worked on this game, and I sure as shit know that Singapore didn't do these sections because weed isn't legal over there. This was you, wasn't it, Montreal? They also added a whole new chapter to the end of the game, but I only had 2 days to gather footage, so much like yourself, I hope it's good. Ship combat remains largely unchanged, but you really feel the upgraded sound and visuals. A big change is that cannons now leave huge plumes of smoke, which at times is enough to completely blind you. And that's kind of a running thing with the remake. On a few occasions, it got so dark that it legitimately became hard to see, but luckily there's a feature where you can manually pass time. Naval combat does have more variety now, with most weapons getting an alternate fire mode. Naval officers will also give you associated perks, such as the shipwright letting you perfect brace to take even less damage. Ship exploration is also just how you remember it. The Jackdaw is fast and nimble, so traveling never feels like a chore, and you can stop the ship wherever you want. There was absolutely nothing on this island but a family of sea turtles, but it feels good that I could stop here anyway. And honestly, exploration in this game is pretty much always rewarded. There wasn't a single time I opened a chest or completed a mission and wasn't happy with what I found. Finding hidden treasure is also doable without looking up a guide, and I cannot praise this game enough for that. I swear so many devs are like, oh boy gee whiz, the players are gonna love this little treasure hunt, and all they'll give you is some Picasso-ass drawing of a location 18 kilometers away. Like, fuck off. I feel like as a reviewer, I should be able to come up with more things I didn't really like about this game, but I'm kinda coming up empty. A lot of it is just a few goofy bugs, but again, I'm playing on a pre-day one patch. You can't really fault them for that. I guess the in-game database is a bit thin. A fun part of Assassin's Creed is learning about the history of these settings, and the database here seemed like a bit of an afterthought. There's also a short loading screen when you go in and out of your cabin, which to be fair, also existed in the original. My guess is that the interior is actually too big to fit the physical size of the ship, but I could be wrong. I guess my biggest gripe was also in the original. It's the whole trope of, oh no, I broke the bridge, I guess you have to find another way across. I think just once in a video game, I want to say that to a companion. I guess there's the deluxe edition which gives you some crazy ass outfits, but that's kinda just gaming in current year. Like for real, hats off to the crazy motherfuckers buying $100 skins on Overwatch. You let me play that shit for free. I see you, I appreciate you. And yeah, look, I think the price point's the biggest drawback here, but I can't speak for everyone there. They basically just took the best Assassin's Creed and made it a lot better. You're gonna have to do your own math on that one. And honestly, don't forget about Ubisoft Plus. It's like 20 bucks, and for a month you get pretty much every single deluxe edition Ubisoft game day one. This isn't a fucking ad, by the way, that's just how I do it. But for real, Assassin's Creed Recession is just, it's fucking goated, man. I haven't even mentioned smaller improvements like the ability to toggle your hood up and down, or the sea shanty menu, or even some of the slight story tweaks which will make fans of the original super happy. I think all things considered, this is my new favorite Assassin's Creed game. And trust me when I say this, it really earned that title. Now hurry up and do Assassin's Creed 2.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.